What's going on, gamers? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing a vlog style video because I'm outside of another local game store. It's called Press Start to Play. This place is pretty cool because it's a mixture of businesses. Press Start to Play is obviously a video game store with old school and new school consoles and games, but it's within a VR cafe, so you can play games in VR, go shop for games while you're there, and they also have a place called Strike Zone, which is where you can do like Nerf fights, laser tag, stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool business. We're gonna go check it out. So let's take a look. Before we head inside, might as well give you a quick little outside looky here. Now you can see the Nerf, the laser tag, at the very top, the VR CDA. They're really promoting the VR. You don't see a lot about gaming. You kind of got to be in the know. But here's a little outside shot, so let's go ahead and head inside, and I'll show you what this is all about. So when I came in, I was greeted with some Billy Joel Uptown Girl playing, so I had to go ahead and remove that. And it's set up. You got TVs all over the place. You got Nerf guns sitting on the wall like John Wick when you pop in. You got a popcorn machine that with COVID is definitely not being used at this point. And I came in the middle of the day, so it's really quiet. But you can definitely see they got a place to get that snack fix taken care of when you're in the middle of a serious arena battle with the Nerf, with the laser tag. And then kind of just looking around. I don't know if you've been to a VR kind of arcade or cafe, but they're really cool. So the first thing you see in this bay is like a full immersive driving simulator. And then there's multiple bays that kind of remind me like old batting cages where you go in, you have quite a bit of room, you have your own screen, you have your own obvious headset that you'll wear. So you see a couple of people here hanging out, checking out the VR cafe, playing some different first-person shooters. I've done it one time, and I have a PlayStation VR. It's definitely a really cool experience. Not for everybody, but definitely really, really cool. I think you should definitely try it out if you haven't had a chance to mess around with VR. But let's get to the goods, what we're here for, gaming. Now, this store has a little bit of everything. You can see on the shelf right now they got some in-box Nintendo 64 games, which I definitely am all about. Got some Genesis games, got some loose SNES, and then they got a bunch of not really rare Nintendo games kind of stacked up. Then this shelf is where they keep a little bit of everything. Again, they have a ton of loose games, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, and some PlayStation. Not a lot of rare N64 games in there. I was looking around, a lot of kind of sports titles and a few games you see all over the place, but they also have a really nice, convenient rack here that holds a bunch of really inexpensive controllers. So if you need a replacement controller, I mean, for 10 bucks, an NES replacement controller, not bad. It's not exactly Nintendo, but it's still a good quality. I actually popped one out at one point and messed around with it. And then for me, I love this wall, the PlayStation 2 wall. As a collector of PlayStation 2 games, Xbox, Nintendo 64, I mean, a little bit of everything, but really PS2 is like one of my favorite consoles, my favorite console. So to get the PS2, I always love checking that out. And then got some old school PS1 games, even have some Sega CD if you're into collecting for that freaking dinosaur. I'm not. And then some old school strategy guides. Gosh, I miss those. I mean, they still pop up once in a while, but with the internet, with all the guides being available at your fingertips for free, these guides are pretty much obsolete. They belong in a museum, so I actually bought a couple of these just for fun. And then you can see the Sega CD games. You don't see a lot of Sega CD, so this is definitely a cool place to check out some games. So if anybody on here sees a game they want, let me know. You can always come back and grab it. Then they have a few in-box Game Boy games. They got a pretty good stack of PSP stuff. Again, I don't really collect PSP, Game Boy. I mean, if I come across a good deal, of course, I'm not letting that pass me up. I can't be losing money on the deal if there's something worth picking up. But for the most part, I don't really collect for the PSP, so I don't really buy it, unless there's just, like I said, some ridiculously good deal, which you're not always going to find at these places, just because they know the prices. That's their, profession, so they know the prices. They're also big into Magic cards. I mean, Magic is something I've never been into, but they spend a lot of money in their stock when it comes to Magic cards. They host tournaments. It's really, I think, probably more of their business than maybe even gaming, the owner said. He said Magic cards are a huge deal there, and while I was visiting the store, there were tons of people that were checking out Magic cards. As you move along the wall, got a few other games you can play if you're into some tabletop gaming, you want to get into some other stuff. Not necessarily for me. I'm more into the controller type, put me in front of a screen, hand me a controller, and give me some cereal, and I'll be good to go. Then we moved over to this wall here, where there is the Xbox 360, as well as the Xbox games. They do carry a few modern games, which I'll show, and then passing up to the GameCube and the Nintendo Wii. So they're definitely into the retro gaming. With the Xbox 360, PS2, PS3, and then the Wii, that's kind of where they have the most games. It seems like that's what you're going to find the most anyway when you're out and about, and this is no different. They definitely have a decent selection of games here. A little bit of Switch at the top, a little bit of Wii U, but not a whole heck of a lot when it comes to some of the more modern consoles and systems. I think they take stuff as trade-ins. They're not necessarily replacing games with brand new stock. And then I love Miss Pac-Man. Seriously, who doesn't like Miss Pac-Man? And if you haven't watched the show High Score on Netflix, it's a really cool story of how Miss Pac-Man came about. And then here is the kind of modern games. PS4, Xbox One, really good prices for some of these things. If you're needing these games in your collection, obviously sports games are always on there because everybody trades in sports games. But for me, I have a lot of these, and some of these I don't want, so I didn't really get anything here. But they are definitely not overpriced. Definitely really reasonable. I think I picked up a game for $5 on the PS4 at one point, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it wasn't even that old of a game. So they're definitely not price gouging. When it comes to their regular games, they do check out price charting, so they're usually pretty reasonable when it comes to their prices, but kind of a market value. I mean, they're not going to be ripping you off, but you're probably not going to be saving 30 or 40% on a pretty popular game. And then this case is always my favorite here. These two, they just usually put their higher priced items or consoles in here, so always pop over here, take a look, see what they're got. See if there's anything, new, see if there's any systems that somebody turned in that they're kind of fun. I actually bought a Nintendo from this place that I ended up beating Back to the Future on when I know Death ran it, because my Nintendo was glitching out and being all messed up, had a glitch gremlin. And then this one in particular, this case is pretty much all of the more expensive or rare games. So with Game Boy Color, had some Game Gear games. You're going to see that here, and then you'll see one game that I did end up grabbing at the top here. Got some Amiibos, got some Dreamcast stuff, and then obviously some of the Terminator game for the Sega CD, Castlevania for the PlayStation, and then moving over, you're going to find out just what game. Boom! Rule of Rose. There it is. And you know what? I got it. I picked it up. I went back about a week later, couldn't help myself, and I grabbed myself Rule of Rose. So it's in the old collection. Definitely happy to have that. Then, of course, they have a little seating area for people that are doing the VR cafe, or parents that are just wanting to sit on their phone, read a book instead of watch their kid. So they sit there, hang out. And then a little kind of arcade area here for kids to win some prizes. Nothing too fancy, but kind of a little something for everybody, which is cool. And then just some Nerf stuff on the wall. You can buy these, you can check them out. So they're really big into kind of offering quite a few different options for people that want to come spend maybe an afternoon. If you're into gaming, if you're into Nerf fights, laser tag, into retro gaming, modern gaming, kind of have a little bit of something for everyone. Alright, ladies and gents, what do you think of Press Start to Play? It literally has everything you need to enjoy gaming in one location. You want to spend money to buy games? You got it. You want to go play some VR? You got it. You want to go shoot some of the Nerf bullet? You got it. Alright, I might have picked up a little something, but I'll save that for another day. Alright, everybody, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, keep trolling, keep rolling. We'll see you next time.